Hello everyone, and welcome to the World Trophy Team Breakdown for the 99th running of the International 6 Days of Enduro starting this Sunday, August 24th. This is a breakdown of all three classifications, the World Trophy, the Junior World Trophy, and the Women's World Trophy teams. I have all the information that was available to me at disposal. I only know what I know. I don't have the exact reason on why some riders are on certain teams and some riders are not on certain teams, but I'll give you the information that I do have in this breakdown. Starting with the World Trophy classification, the teams to beat. We start off with France, the defending champions, coming back with their team from last year. Théo Espinasse, Hugo Blanchot, Leo Leclerc, and Julien Roussali. These guys were a strong team to beat last year. Currently, Théo Espinasse is 13th in the Enduro GP series. Hugo Blanchot is very strong, always solid, not exactly the one to put up the fastest test times, but he is a solid, consistent rider for the French team. Leo Leclerc is very solid as well, putting in consistent times. He will put in top 5 times at the special test during the ISDE in Bergamo. He is currently 14th in the Enduro GP World Championship Series, along with Julien Roussali, another solid competitor. These guys were very fast last year. All 4 of them were very fast, very consistent. They pulled away based on consistency, not necessarily outright speed, but the consistency is there for the French team. The interesting thing of note, no Zach Patron on the French World Trophy team. He is currently holding down the 2nd place position in the Enduro GP series, and he is the newly crowned Italian Enduro champion. So it's interesting. I don't know why that decision was made, but no Zach Patron, according to all the information that I have, he is the strongest French rider in the world right now, but he is not on the French World Trophy team. Moving on to the 2nd place from last year, the United States. Same team as last year once again. Josh Toth, Cody Barnes, Johnny Girard, and Dante Oliveira. Josh Toth, the 2024 National Enduro Champion, coming off of a fresh win at the Snowshoe GNCC in the XC2 class. He is also the current points leader again, currently defending his title in the National Enduro Series. He is very strong. He's going to be racing his Kawasaki 250F. Showed great speed at the USA training camp. He's going to be solid. Cody Barnes, currently sitting 3rd overall in the XC2 class at the Grand National Cross Country Series. He was also 2nd runner-up in the US Sprint Enduro Series this year. He will be riding a 450. Once again, he gets the call up immediately. He is first selection after a late sub-in last year due to an injury with another rider. But Cody is looking solid. He is feeling very comfortable in the 450. He'll be a lot stronger than what he was last year in Spain. Johnny Girard, the defending Grand National Cross Country Champion, as well as the multi-time US Sprint Enduro Champion, coming off injury and illness from earlier this year. He is back on the bike. He was looking strong at the USA ISDE training camp. He's a little bit of a question mark. He's still not 100% yet, but he will be ready to go. He's looking to have a lot better year than what he had last year in Spain. Dante Oliveira, the current points leader in the National Grand Prix Championship Series, as well as the Hare and Hound Series. Dante has been showing incredible speed this year out west. Here and there at previous ISDEs, he is one of the few riders that is able to mix it up for test wins, special test wins at the ISDE against the likes of Josep Garcia, Andrea Verona, and Steve Holcomb. Dante is looking very good this year, very strong. Could he be a bigger contender for the outright scratch win at ISDE in Bergamo? 3rd place from last year, Spain, Sergio Navarro, Alejandro Navarro, Julio Pando, and Josep Garcia. Alejandro Navarro is the new rider coming in this year at the replacement of Jaume Betriou. Not sure. I know Betriou was looking at retirement this year. I don't know if that has gone into complete effect. He ran the Spanish round of the Enduro GP series this year and did very well, but I'm assuming, I don't have the exact information, but I'm assuming he has gone into retirement and he is not racing ISDE this year. I could be wrong. Navarro was strong last year. Pando was solid, but the key player in this Spanish team, of course, is the 4-time defending ISDE champion. He is also the reigning World Enduro GP champion, as well as the current points leader in the 2025 Enduro GP season, Josep Garcia. He has been the strongest rider at ISDE for multiple years now. He has shown in nearly 10 years that he is one of the strongest riders in ISDE, as well as sprint racing, dating all the way back to 2016 in his home country of Spain. He was able to pull off another win, his 4th straight win in his home country of Spain last year, in addition to a great career, a solid career that he has already established. Like I said, he is the current points leader to defend his Enduro GP World Championship over Zach Patron. Garcia rides differently than everybody else when it comes to those sprint races, and he is definitely the one to watch. He's definitely the odds-on favorite to go 5 straight at the International 6 Days of Enduro coming up. Australia, Daniel Milner, Jonte Reinders, Josh Strang, and Jai Dixon. This is a solid team, a good mix of seasoned experience along with young talent. It's great to have Milner and Strang back on the same team again. Daniel Milner, the 2018 ISDE outright winner in Chile. He is back this year for the first time in a number of years. It would be great to see him back. Jonte Reinders put in solid times last year. Inconsistency kept him outside of the top 10 with some crashes. Not the greatest riding, but he did show speed at times, and he's going to be a solid rider. Josh Strang, the ever-consistent veteran, now living here in the United States, the 2010 Grand National Cross Country champion. He'll be solid. He's racing a 4-stroke this year compared to the 2-stroke that he raced last year in Spain. Jai Dixon, the rookie this year. Don't have any information on him. Australia usually puts together a pretty solid team. There's been some controversy over the years with not selecting guys like Milner. Typically, they put together a pretty solid team. This is a team that if things fall right, if other teams have issues, this is an Australian team that could be, podium contenders. They were 5th last year, but this is a team that if everything goes right and everybody's feeling well, this is a team that could be in the top 3 by the end of the week. The new wildcard team for this year in Bergamo, Sweden. Mikael Persson, Max Alin, Albin Norben, and Axel Sem. Persson hasn't raced the ISDE in a few years. However, the 3 riders joining him as rookies as far as World Trophy team classification goes are very, very solid. The other 3 riders, Alin, Norben, and Sem, are the 3 riders that have dominated the World Junior Trophy classification the last few years. They've won it 2 out of the last 3 years. They would have had it a 3rd year in Argentina had not a bike failure taken them out literally with minutes to go in the final moto on day 6 in Argentina. This is a team that can be podium. Straight up, no kickers, no teams dropping riders, no penalties. This is a team that can contend for a podium position straight up right out of the gates. Alin, Norben, and Sem, they are very solid riders. Persson is consistent as well. He has put in top times in ISD in the special tests in the past. Like I keep saying, Sweden is the wildcard team, but they are a team that can potentially be a podium, if not a win, in the World Trophy classification in Italy. The home nation team, Italy themselves, Samuele Bernardini, Manolo Moratini, Morgan Lesiardo, and Andrea Verona. Solid team coming back from last year. I think the only switch out is Moratini. As far as Bernardini goes, he is currently P7 in the Enduro GP classification, the World Championships right now. The former MXGP rider had a solid run in Spain last year. He will be a contender for top 5 performances in special test classifications. Manolo Moratini, he gets switched out pretty much every year between World Trophy and Club, but he is very consistent, very solid. He has put in top times in World Trophy classification in the past. He's also been a top rider in the Club classification when he has raced Club in the past at ISDE. Morgan Lesiardo, not exactly the strongest rider, but he's consistent. He's going to be in that top 20 all week long. He is currently 11th in the Enduro GP World standings. And then, of course, Andrea Verona, the biggest fight consistently over the last 5 years to Josep Garcia for the world titles, as well as ISDE. He is currently 3rd in the Enduro GP World standings. He wants to make up for last year. His bike failed him on day 1 in Spain, and he wants to desperately make up for that, as well as being 3rd in the World Championships right now. He is looking for that elusive win at ISDE. He has come up 2nd multiple times to Garcia, but he is one that is hungry and chomping at the bit to go after the Spaniard here next week. Team GB, this one was met with some controversy, and usually that's kind of the case with them. Jack Edmondson, Alex Walton, Harry Edmondson, and Daniel Mundell. The biggest thing to take away from this team, no Steve Holcomb, the multi-time World Enduro GP champion, is off the team. I've always heard there's a lot of politics that go on with this team. I'm not entirely sure why. I don't have the full story. Solid team. Jack Edmondson, he's been improving this year. He did really well at the Welsh 2-Day here recently. Alex Walton is consistent. He's one of the younger riders, so this is, I believe, his 2nd time on the World Trophy team. Harry Edmondson, unfortunately, disaster struck on day 1, immediately leaving the paddock. He didn't even get to make it to the first test. His bike, his Honda, had issues, had electrical issues. He was forced to withdraw. He re-impounded and raced the next couple of days, but the times didn't count towards Team GB. Not like it mattered anyway. He was so late by the time he got his bike going again, it didn't matter as far as the team standings go. So as long as he can get to the first test on day 1, he's already improved from last year, but I know he is looking to definitely make a mark and help out Team GB in the classification standings. Daniel Mundell, he was solid a couple of years ago. He's great at the British Championships. Not the strongest GB team, obviously, like I said, with the exclusion of Steve Holcomb. With things fall right, GB could be a top 5 team with this group. Moving on to the Junior World Trophy classification, this is riders 23 and under. France, Thibaut Giraudon, Romain Dagna, and Leo Joyon. This is a solid French team. Giraudon and Joyon were on the team last year. They were very strong. They were second last year behind the Swedes. It's a very solid team coming into this year. Romain Dagna, he is the leader in the Enduro GP World Championship standings in the youth classification. He is the top young rider in the World Championships this year. Leo Joyon, he is currently third in the World Championships in the juniors classification. So that 23, between that 17 to 23-year-old classification. So this is a very strong team. They will be one of the ones to watch. They will be the team to watch heading into Italy as the top team, like I said, coming off from second last year in Spain. The United States team, Grant Davis, Cooper Jones, and Mateo Oliveira. Everybody that's been watching here in the United States knows the repertoire and the credentials that the USA is carrying in with them, especially Grant Davis, the former leader of the Grand National Cross Country Series earlier this year. He's currently second overall in that series, as well as leading the XC2 classification, defending his title from 2024. He will be very solid. He is racing the KTM 350 this year compared to the 250 of last year. He's one of the taller riders, so having that little bit more power, he's not going to have to keep revved on the pipe consistently, is going to help him out. He was very solid at the USA training camp a few weeks ago. Look for Davis. His goal is to put in top 5 times overall during the week in Italy. Cooper Jones, 250A rider on the KTM. He is a rookie this year on the Junior Trophy classification after racing club in 2024 in Spain. He had solid times as a club rider in 2024. He gets the call up after an injury to Jason Tino, the Gas rider, unfortunately out with a knee injury. Jones had an injury of his own during the mid part of the GNCC season. He is all healthy. He was putting in great times at the USA training camp a couple of weeks ago. Jones is a little bit of a wild card just because he's not the most experienced one on this team. He actually has the least experience on this team, but Jones should be solid. He took a lot of information from Spain last year that he will apply into Bergamo here next week. Mateo Oliveira, the AMA West newly crowned champion, as well as a top contender in the National Grand Prix Championship Series behind his brother Dante. Mateo is solid. Not the strongest run last year. Bike setup issues just kind of hindered him a little bit, but he is feeling strong coming into Italy next week. He had great times at the training camp, and he's going to be solid. This is a very capable winning United States team in the Junior Trophy classification. Australia, Kyron Bacon, Corey McMahon, and Gus Reardon. Very young team, 18 to 21 years old between these 3 riders, I'm pretty sure. Bacon raced last year in Spain, put in top 25 times, top 30 times. Not exactly the strongest performance from him. He is currently 6th overall in the Enduro GP World Championship in the juniors classification, so that under 23 classification. Corey McMahon, I believe, is the rookie this year. I don't think he's raced ISDE in the past, but I could be wrong. I didn't find that information out on him. And then Gus Reardon, very solid last year in Spain. He's the current 2nd place position rider in the XC2 class in the GNCC series. He's also been running the national enduros as well as the sprint, some of the sprints earlier this year. Reardon was solid last year. He will probably be the lead rider on this team, but this is a good podium performing team for Australia for the first time in a few years in the Junior Trophy. Italy comes in, the home nation, with Alberto Elgari, Manuel Verzaroli, and Kevin Cristino. Alberto Elgari, he's 2nd in the Enduro GP youth classification, that under 17 classification. Verzaroli has been in and out with the juniors the last few years. Solid, not exactly the fastest times, but he's consistent when he keeps it on 2 wheels. Kevin Cristino is the most experienced rider on this team. I think after this year he ages out, but I do not know that for sure. He is currently 2nd overall in the Enduro GP junior classification, the World Championships, but this is a 4th or 5th placing classification just based on paper and based on what I've seen. Cristino is solid. He's been in the system for a while now in the ISDE, so he should be able to put in top 5 times within the juniors outright, but I don't have them on the podium. I've been proven wrong in the past. Alberto Algari, Manuel Verzaroli, and Kevin Cristino makes up your Italian team representing the home nation at ISDE. Great Britain comes in with Sam Davies, Callum Hughes, and and Sam Hughes. The Sams, Davies and Hughes, raced last year. Callum Hughes, I believe, is the new one. Not exactly the strongest team. They had a couple other riders different from last year in Spain, but this is a British team that's probably top 5 at best. Same as Italy, I could be wrong, but that is your Great Britain team to watch for. Sam Davies, Callum Hughes, and Sam Hughes. Moving on to the Women World Trophy classification, we start off with the defending champs, the United States, Brandy Richards, Rachel Gudish, and Corey Steed. Brandy is the individual one to watch for the women. She has won it multiple times now. She would have won it a few years ago in France, but unfortunately an injury took her out of the running, but she is the lead rider outright in the women classification with a strong team behind her. Rachel Gudish, she's been racing the Enduro GP World Championships. She is currently second in the World Championships in the women classification, only a couple points out of the overall lead for that championship. She still has a race or two to go in that championship. But she is aboard the Ryu 2-stroke. She was actually showing great times at the training camp a couple of weeks ago on that 2-stroke. She comes in with a lot more confidence based on talking to her than she ever has, and she feels very strong that she's going to be putting in top times to back up again the Women's World Trophy win for the United States. Corey Steed is back after an injury last year. She's had some issues. She's had a couple crashes earlier this year that hindered her riding, but that could actually be a good thing. Not a whole lot of time on the bike, not as much time on the bike as usual. She struggled a little bit on the first day of the training camp, but day 2 and day 3, she really turned it up and was feeling a lot more comfortable on her Husqvarna. But this is the team that USA wanted last year. Corey's injury brought in the replacement of Ava Silvestri. The team still held up well. Brandy still got her individual win, but Brandy is the queen of ISDE right now, backed up with Rachel Gudish and Corey Steed looking to defend that Women's World Trophy win once again. The biggest rivals for the United States, Australia. Jessica Gardner, Danielle McDonald, and Madison Healy. Gardner has been there and done it before. She has been on multiple Women's World Trophy winning teams with Australia. Danielle McDonald, the 17, 18-year-old, she was a rookie a couple of years ago in Argentina. She came in last year with a knee injury. She soldiered through it. This year she comes in healthy. She's been putting in great performances after coming in late at the start of the Grand National Cross Country season this year. She will be strong. She's going to be a lot stronger than what she was last year. Madison Healy, she's a motocross girl. The information that I've been given, but she's a very well-rounded rider. She's an adaptable rider. She's a replacement for Taylor Jones. Taylor had a couple of injuries during the Grand National Cross Country Series this year that ruled her out for the ISDE, but this is going to be the strongest challengers to the United States. Once again, that is Team Australia, Jessica Gardner, Danielle McDonald, and Madison Healy. Canada comes in with a solid team. It's the same team, I believe, from last year. Marie-Claude Boudreau, Emma Sharpless, and Shelby Turner. Turner's the strongest rider on this team. She has won GNCCs in the past. She's won National Enduros in the past. She's a very solid, very consistent rider. She's been looking really good this year in the Grand National Cross Country Series. I expect her to put in top 5 times. She hasn't done that consistently in a while. She throws them in every once in a while. I expect her to be more consistent and more in that top 5 running, maybe even top 3 running in Bergamo. Emma Sharpless is solid. She's a current contender in the FMS Q Series. Up in Canada, the Off-Road Series. Marie-Claude Boudreau, same thing. This is a very solid and consistent team from Canada, and from everything that I'm gathering, I know Shelby's strong. It sounds like Emma's picked up the pace this year, as well as Boudreau. So maybe Canada, if everything goes right, can put in a top 3 performance at ISDE this year. One thing to note, the home country, I didn't write down the full team, but it is of note that representing Italy is the current leader in the women's classification in the World Enduro Championships, Francesca Nocera. She has been very solid this year. She has a 2-point lead over Rachel Gudish in that women's classification in the World Championships, but not the most solid team behind her, but she is going to be putting in top 5 times in Bergamo representing her home nation. That's going to wrap it up for this breakdown of the World Trophy teams, the Junior World Trophy, as well as the Women World Trophy, here for the 99th running of the International 6 Days of Enduro, starting August 24th in Bergamo, Italy. You can follow along for all the information. You can follow along on my channel for detailed breakdowns each week. Also follow along and subscribe on the Dirt Bike Magazine YouTube channel for raw highlights each day. But follow along. I appreciate you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in Italy.